What's up, y'all? We back with another NFO Cyphers episode. We're on 16. Stop fucking playing with us, okay? We're up here today at Elevated Barbershop Lounge. It's amazing in here. It's the perfect creative space, and I've got the perfect creative person. How we doing, Achillez?
I'm all good, baby. How you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm glad to have you back, like I said.
I'm so glad to be back, man. It's so good to see you. It's been a long time.
Yes. Okay, let's go ahead. Chicago State of Mind. I know you had to have known I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that project for you was something that you dropped and everybody was kind of like, oh shit. And then you dropped again and everybody was like, oh, okay. And then you dropped again and everybody was like, okay, period. Yeah. So like, I have to know, like, because have you been releasing music like since you dropped all of that? Because your Instagram is a little...
Okay, so a lot of life has been going on,
Yeah.
Since the last time we saw each other. And I had previously put out a 30-song compilation of my first 4 tapes that I did during the pandemic, the Gotham City Lockdown series, 1 through 4. And then after that, life started life in. But then I just looked up and was like, people need to hear my voice,
Yeah.
So I got inspired to start a new series, song series called Chicago State of Mind. During this downtime, I was listening to, a whole lot of golden era hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Things that brought me to the genre, people that brought me to the genre, and Nas being one of my largest influences.
Yeah.
Got very inspired by, his New York State of Mind. So I was just, you know what? Let's bring it to today's day and age, with a fresh new voice, from a different city with a different perspective, different twist.
Yeah, I feel like, again, like that project is like, if I were to go out of state, right, and I'm like talking about like indie Chicago artists, I would be like, this project.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of everybody had that kind of mindset for it. So like, what went into it? Like, what made you do multiple pieces of that?
So initially, I just wanted to do one song, but because of how I write and how my brain works, 16 turned into 72, turned into 140, and then I'm looking at like 9 to 10 verses, and I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna listen to a 9-minute song,
right?
So I was like, okay, let's break them down in parts. And then as I started breaking them down in parts, I'm like, all right, they're taking a life of their own. So each one needs to have a distinct element about them that differentiates one from the other.
Yeah. Which they did.
Yeah. That's what we try to aim for. You know what I'm saying? And we got 2 out so far, and we got about 4 in the tuck. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we getting those like next year?
I'm gonna scatter them out throughout. I really, really wanted to devote a lot of time and effort into a project. But then I started to self-reflect on that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me build a sense of importance. Let me build, just an energy and an environment for that project to be received well, instead of, setting yourself up to fail. Because a lot of artists today, they feel like, all right, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to drop this, I got to stop sitting on this, or it's the opposite. And it's like, we just got to stop thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Do your artist thing.
Exactly. Just if it feels right and it feels nice, then that's what you got to go with.
Yeah. So how do you compare your feelings towards Chicago State of Mind against Gotham City Lockdown? Because 30 tracks is, and those aren't no like 2-minute songs. So
yeah. Well, what inspired me to go in a different direction is the fact that early on, I've always viewed myself as an artist that embraced his versatility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of Chicago artists in particular, Black men who are Chicago artists, they feel the need to portray this certain image.
Wear one coat.
Yeah, and it limits them to just, one demographic, or it limits them into just one box. Whereas, I grew up different, grew up in the hood, but it's like immediately early on saw myself as an observer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always asking questions. I'm like, why the fuck is things like this? You know, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know, where the fuck are we getting these ideas? Like, just all these questions that I would have as a young kid and growing up kind of formed how I live my life now. And it's reflected, you know, obviously in my art, to where when you listen and when I'm saying something, every syllable has purpose.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'm trying to convey a message, trying to convey a vibe. So I really wanted to differentiate Chicago State of Mind series from Gotham City Lockdown, because with Gotham City Lockdown, you're getting a lot of experimental, free, fun. You know, I'm doing a lot of singing, a lot of pop. It's a lot of.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's a lot of pop songs on there. It's R&B songs on there. I got EDM on there. You know what I'm saying? Dance songs. And Chicago being a well-versed city when it comes to different genres of music, that aspect and that cold hard fact about our city does not get emphasized. It does not get harped on. It does not get a light shine on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of deep-rooted musical history in our city. And a lot of what gets glorified today only gets represented short-sighted. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I take it upon myself, and I pride myself on being an artist that embraces his versatility. You know, I grew up knowing that I could sing, but I also knew that I had a mean 16.
Yeah. See,
So
like,
what
because
the fuck? Am I gonna tuck the 16 just to do the singing, or am I gonna give you everything I got?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just give you everything I got.
Achillez, my artist, is my R&B artist. So like, when I listen to Achillez, I listen to the singing Achillez, and then that Chicago State of Mind came out, and I was like, oh.
And that's
I forgot he could rap.
and that's the reaction right there. That's the goal. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I want people who are familiar with my art to be like, oh my God, I didn't know you had that in you, bro.
Shit,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want the people who know me for my rhymes to be like, bro, I didn't know you had that in you to sing.
Yeah.
And I want the people that just, was introduced to my singing to be like, oh my, you sound like a whole nother artist.
Right.
I want to provide different experiences. Because I feel like that's what's missing in music. We're lost in the commodifying and the chasing the bag, and let's get stuck in the formulaic way, the archaic way of doing things to turn profit, instead of actually treating it as a nutrient. Like music and sound, it's been here way before we've been walking and crawling and talking and coughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a life form. It's something that we can't even fully comprehend and understand. We can only manipulate and reflect, and so again, I just take it upon myself to be like, enough with the labels, enough with the boxes, enough with the, oh, I'm only supposed to do this, I'm only supposed to do that. I wake up on a Monday, I feel like the best rapper in the world. Wake up on a Tuesday, I feel like I gotta sing my heart out. Wake up on a Wednesday, I feel like dancing.
Yeah.
Artist
shit.
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
All right. How would you sum up your whole year of 2024, since we got a couple days?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been hella tumultuous. It's been trying. Just personal life things, dealing with, different versions of tragedy, grief, things like that. But in the same breath, it's left a lot of room for me to realize how important self-reflection really is, and how healthy it is. And during and throughout all of the trying times, being self-aware, and what I needed mentally, spiritually, and then taking action, and seeing a result, really opened my eyes, and I'm really appreciative of just the overall growth of this year, even though the good and the bad.
Both.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you kind of need both for the growth.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned, and that's what I take from this year.
Okay, what are we bringing into next year?
A ton of fucking music, dog.
Okay.
I've been sitting on so many records, and I've been fulfilling so many collaborations with so many different artists around the city. that's been long overdue.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about those.
Hell yeah.
I recently did a feature for my sister Asha Omega. She just dropped an album called The Star.
Love you, Asha.
Love you. And we did a beautiful record. Caption This. She's amazing.
Yeah,
And yeah, and she really brought out the best of me in that studio session. And that's the type of energy I thrive on, and I in a constant search of when it comes to collaborating with other artists, in particular those from my city.
Yeah.
Because again, we get a bad rap nationwide about how not connected we are, and about, you know, how our community doesn't feel like it should.
Yeah.
You know, in comparison
to
exactly in comparison to other areas, other regions.
Yeah.
But again, harping on my earlier point, like there's such rich history here. You know, so much innovation, so much history.
Don't forget who you are, Chicago.
Exactly.
Like, stop playing.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You got so many different other scenes around the world, you know, claiming our house music.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody said nothing
that's
about
our
it.
Shit for real.
Yeah, ain't nobody said nothing about it. You got kids in Japan footworking right now in competitions, and we was doing that shit in '99.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that belong to us that's the world just freely using. And I don't even want to get started on the lingo. For real, because that kind of upsets me, because there's certain things that, you know, certain groups of people, certain sides of the city were allowed to say, or, you know, innovated. And, you know, motherfuckers using it freely 20 years later. And it's like, nah, like, it was a point in time where you wasn't supposed to say G unless you was a certain person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you was from a certain type, built from a certain place, come from a certain area. You know what I'm saying? Now, that shit used freely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just putting emphasis on bearing that responsibility as an artist to not only give what I have to offer, but also, you know, represent and truly, you know, reflect all sides of what this city got to offer, because this city made me, man. The city made us.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it deserves the proper soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just drill.
Agreed.
It's more than just
hella agreed, for sure.
Another joint that motherfuckers trying to take for their own. Even though the UK shit is hard, I can't lie.
I fucks with the UK drill.
The UK shit is hard, so but yeah, at the end of the day, bro, like,
that is us.
Yeah, that's us, man. That's
people
us.
definitely don't like to give us our props for that shit.
But in the same breath, we gotta demand that shit too.
Right.
We gotta demand our respect in those spaces.
Yeah.
We gotta own that shit in those spaces.
That's just one of the things where, like, being introduced to just so much talent. Like, it's not even funny, like, what indie artists in Chicago got going on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I already know that I've just met, like, such a small group, and there's just so much more. And, like, I see all the narratives are the same with you guys. It's like I'm trying to change that narrative for us. Exactly. So I appreciate that.
And I appreciate that too. Like, because it should be a synergy between, you know, the artists and the people covering the artists, you know, the people that are putting those artists in the forefront. Like, we need each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been super remiss if I would have came here acting like, you know, I'm doing y'all the favor.
Right.
You know, like, no, you're doing me the favor.
Yeah, we're working together.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. All right, we can wrap it up. My last little question for you is, let me see what I got for you. What's something that you'd like to be remembered for?
Something I would like to be remembered for, my fearlessness.
Hey.
I feel like that's a very underrated trait when it comes to being an artist.
Yeah.
In particular in rap music.
Yeah. For sure.
There's a lot of people scared to do a lot of shit. There's a lot of people scared to be a lot of shit. And particularly themselves.
Which is crazy because I'm not like a creative. I'm not like an artist or anything. But like, if I were to be one, I would make sure that I'm a damn good one, and I would want to be as versatile in any of my stuff that I do. Exactly. So like, props off to you. Good on you, my guy.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Y'all can find me anywhere, social media wise, Twitter _Achillez3000, Instagram _Achillez3000. You can find all of my music. I have 100+ songs y'all can stream on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I'm everywhere. Just look.
Hell yeah. And if you don't like one thing, go check it out and see if you like something else. And if you don't like that thing, go check it out and see if you like something else.
Yeah, it's like over 100 joints. It's
don't play with him.
5 Baskin Robbins put together.
We got 31 plus favors. So
31 times 5. Where my math majors at?
That's so funny. We're not doing 5. 165. There we go. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right,
it's
Mama.
always
Appreciate
such a pleasure.
you. Always.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for your new music.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to give it to y'all for real.
Like you really
I've been
were,
sitting on it for a long time.
Like one of those artists where like, you know, I do my little research or whatever, but then I started like looking through it and I was like, oh, I really like this stuff.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means I'm doing my job.
Yeah, doing something right?